advice you want, saying you heard it on awesomebomb.net. Anyway,
awesome.
All right, well, when I was in college, I was going for a TCOM degree because I had big dreams of, I was going to write for David Letterman or write Batman comic books. I had my own TV show in college called Broke Student Television. I heard about this midget karaoke country singer doing this crazy country band. And the closest thing that people would understand, he does the rockabilly punk like Hank Williams III and Shooter Jennings and those outlaw party guys. Anyway.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I meet him and I tell him, hey, I'm doing these bullshit little indie wrestling shows for fun. Would you want to come check it out? He's like, hell yeah, sounds like fun. Boom, 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 we travel around the Midwest. And then he starts meeting other dwarf wrestlers. Like I said, the guys that used to be Jerry King's Little Kings and then Pitbull Patterson. But promoters would only bring in one other dwarf for him to fight. And he said, dude, ever since I was like 6, 7, 8 years old, I always had in my head I wanted to do an all-dwarf wrestling federation and call it micro wrestling, but nobody has the fucking money. Boom. We found a club down in Florida called Big Daddy's. Big Daddy's, died now. Rest in peace, Big Daddy. But anyway, he put up the money to do the first event, and we sold it out. A week before, Steve-O from Jackass was at the same club as on the... Steve-O from Jackass, when Jackass was at its peak and Steve-O was doing his stupid-ass little club tour, drew like 120 people. We got over 600 people, and the money we made off that one fucking show, that's what kick-started micro wrestling.
Well, thank God you beat Steve-O, for Christ's sake. Of course, I believe that would... I would definitely come see micro wrestling over fucking Steve-O any day of the week, I'm sure. Hey, let me ask you this: was POD? And I know that's what come back to little Danzig because he's a humongous TNA guy. Was POD or one of your guys one of the guys for TNA when they first started, when they had the hardcore matches?
Yeah, that was Puppet and T.O. and they brought in Hollywood. I was backstage at all those events working with Ed Ferrara off and on, trying to get a job as a writer, but Puppet fucked that whole deal up for us. If you research back when TNA first started, the first 3 contracts they offered were Puppet, Jerry Lynn, and AJ Styles. But Puppet's a raging alcoholic and needs to get himself in rehab, and that's why we don't work with him anymore. Long story short, Ed Ferrara is a booking genius and should have been the one to take over TNA, and anyway.
Ed Ferrara is back. Did you hear? Did you hear from last week's news? Ed Ferrara is back with what's his fuck?
Hopefully Ed Ferrara can get some control over the book soon. Me and Ed Ferrara talk on Facebook sometimes, and definitely his ideas and his vision for what wrestling should and could be is so far above anything anybody else has. He is so underappreciated, and assholes like Vince Russo, cherry pick and steal his ideas, and then they're willing to go on the internet and radio shows and self-promote themselves as some kind of super genius, Quentin Tarantino style, when it's real guys like Ed Ferrara that brought the ideas to the table. They just don't self-promote,
Hey, well, there's Ferrara's fucking plug of the fucking week. Hey, hopefully, you know what? Because TNA has been up this week ratings-wise, and I personally think that Vince Russo's booking is awesome. I think that DJ Little Danzig doesn't agree with me. DJ, DJ, are you there? Are you drunk?
Do it for me, brother. Do a shot for me. Basically, when we was first doing the deal with TNA, I'm going to tell another story nobody in the fucking world knows about, okay? When we was first doing the deal, when TNA was first kicking off and it was Wednesday night pay-per-views, okay? They heard about us because there used to be the WWA before that did them tours with Jeff Jarrett before TNA. All you super hardcore smarts, go Google this shit. I guess one day soon I'm going to write a 50-page blog and just expose all this dirt I've been keeping under wraps. But anyway, when they was doing the Wednesday night pay-per-views, okay, the original plan was they was going to bring in dwarfs and NWA legends and do shit like women battle royals, and it was supposed to be like a super NWA style independent every week, and the champion was going to fight new mystery challengers every week. 1 week Ken Shamrock, 1 week Steve Corino, and that was the vision at the time. Well, I had a deal worked out with the Warped Tour and Trauma Films, and I was going to go promote on that, and Ed Ferrara, this is why I love the man. You know, he knew I was trying to get a job as his booking assistant in TNA or help him, because they had no idea how to properly use the dwarfs. You know, and they basically seen what we did on Jerry Springer and thought it was cool and was like, yeah, well, the way they've done dwarf wrestling for 20 years in Nashville and Memphis is you're so-and-so's sidekick, throw the heel a chain, and, you know, then take a powder when the babyface chases you. Same old school bullshit, you know.
That's kind of the way they do it in WWE now with Hornswoggle, more or less, right? Is Hornswoggle one of your guys?
Dude, before Hornswoggle, little Dylan used to call us up and beg us for bookings because he couldn't get out of the Wisconsin area. And when Kevin Kelly was in charge of the WWE talent division, he wanted to bring the dwarfs in, but like I said, we had all these other deals, Jerry Springer and all that shit, and so we would send them tapes and shit, and it was always, hey, in 2 months we're going to do this gimmick, we're going to create this leprechaun gimmick, blah, blah, blah. POD, are you interested? Because at that time, POD was the top dwarf, and, you know, because, like I said, he was doing 30, 40 shows a year, and most independent wrestlers are lucky if they wrestle, you know, twice a month. I mean, you guys know that. Anyway, so POD's talking to Kevin Kelly, then they go through a power switch. Kevin Kelly gets fired. Eventually, like Simon Dean comes on. They decide to do the Hornswoggle gimmick when Fit Finlay comes back after his surgery. They're going to push this whole hey, Fit Finlay, the Irishman with a leprechaun. Yeah, that's a little creative, but anyway. So they're like, send footage.
It's funny, man. You know what I mean? Hey,
well, okay. It's all at different levels how you look at it, man. You know, like I said, I went to Ball State for a TCOM degree, so I look at movies different than most people watch movies. You guys are into music, so when you listen to music, you listen to individual guys play certain parts of the guitar or drums or whatever and think, well, I would have did that different. That's how I look at booking. You know, but anyway, so they're calling up Chris, and they're like, man, we want video. Who's the best dwarf wrestlers? They brought in Pitbull Patterson. They said he was too tall to be the dwarf. They had other footage. You see, Dylan was unmarried, willing to travel. And that's the main reason he got picked over Pitbull Patterson. Because Pitbull was married and lived in Arizona. Dylan was willing to travel nonstop with them. And at the time, they never had did it before. They never had used the dwarf more than 1 or 2 times. The original plan was, you know, Hornswoggle, he was going to have a whole family of dwarfs back in the day, and bring them all in. They tried to do it later on with the Little Boogeyman. That was another one of our guys, Chris Holyfield, we used to do shit with. So all this shit, all the time you see midgets on TV that everybody's like, where the hell did this guy come from? You know, I was showing them shit how to wrestle and do moonsaults back in 2001, 2002 when Micro first started going. But then, like I said, our TV deal kicked in. POD took the check and got paid, and I was back in college. So
who was the TV deal with? What company or TV channel was the?
All right, basically in the world of TV, you sign a deal with a production company. They come to you and say, hey guys, we love Awesome Bomb. We want to make a reality show about AwesomeBomb.net based on Sensei and Little Danzig, you crazy drunk motherfuckers. We want to film your guys' show, blah, blah. They're going to cut you a check. They're going to film you guys for 2 or 3 days. 6 months later, they're going to send you a pilot. You sign off on the pilot. And then when the TV season picks up, they're going to send that DVD and a promo package, your pictures, your history, all your other TV, radio appearances, etc., etc. They're going to send that to all their contacts in the TV industry. And if somebody picks it up, then they order, you know, a tryout show or 6 episodes or whatever, and boom, boom, boom. And the network will pick it up if they think they can make money off of it. We didn't get picked up. The real reason we didn't get picked up is because people didn't want to hear us talking about God and why we got chosen to do wrestling. You know, they